Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions video on the new Tartiest Times Shayla palette. And if you don't know who MakeupShayla is, she's a beauty guru here on YouTube. I will make sure to leave her channel linked in the description box down below. So Shayla collaborated with Tarte to bring a contour palette mainly catered towards women of color, and I definitely think that she did a good job. This palette retails for $45. I did order mine from Tarte's website when they first came out, and I think that today they'll be available on Sephora's website and on Ulta's website as well. So you should definitely go and check that out. And I did my makeup with it today, and I really like how my makeup turned out today. So if you guys are interested in seeing my first impressions as well as a demo on the new Tartiest Times Shayla palette, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I'm starting out with my brows already done and my foundation already done. And it's going to be highlighting using my Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Concealer in the shade Dark. Alright, next I'm going into the MakeupShayla contour palette. I'm going to be using the shade number 2, and it says that it's in a corrector shade. This is a really pretty banana shade. I'm going to use this to set everywhere that I highlighted. And I thought that this powder was going to make me look ashy, but it doesn't. It actually looks really nice. Alright, next I'm going to be going into the palette, taking the contour shade, the lightest contour shade, I think that it's 4, and I'm going to try to contour with this, and it wasn't coming out as dark as I wanted it to, so I eventually switched over to contour shade number 3, which is the darker shade. But I mean, it gives a really nice highlight. It's a really nice cool tone contour shade, and you will probably have to build on it to get it to show up if you are my skin tone. If you're going for a really light simple contour, this color would be perfect, or if you are lighter skin, like I said. Alright, now I'm just picking up the darker contour shade. And this one worked perfectly for the contour that I was going for. Alright, next up, since I don't want my nose contour to be super harsh, I'm going to use the lighter contour shade. I'm just going to use this to contour my nose. And it actually worked out pretty good. Alright, next up I'm going to use the corrector shade, which is the banana shade. I'm going to use this to clean up under my contour. The powders in this contour kit blend really well. Alright, now I'm just using my MAC Studio Fix powder in NW45. Well, my foundation, Studio Fix foundation. I'm just going to use this to set my entire face. Alright, then I'm going to be going back into the corrector shade, which is the banana shade. I'm going to use this in my inner tear duct to brighten up my eyes a little bit. Alright, next on to the blush. I think that the blush in this palette is really pretty. It's like a peachy light coral shade, and it's really pretty. It gives a really settled flush of color on the cheek. Nothing too popping or out there, but I'm sure you can build on it. Alright, next up for the highlight, I'm going to try the first highlight shade, which is like this really pretty bronze shade. And while it does give a really pretty nice settled glow, I wanted to go for a little bit more than that. So I eventually picked up the champagne-y shade in the palette. And I feel like this highlighter looks really nice on deeper skin tones. It doesn't come off too ashy, and it gives a nice glow. Alright guys, so I am back with the rest of my makeup done, and I did all of my makeup today. Well, I set my contour, and I set my, not my contour, sorry, I didn't powder contour. I did my contour and I set my concealer with this palette, and I also did my blush as well as used the highlighter in this palette. So my first impressions on the palette is I really like it. I really think that the palette blends really nicely, and it really is woman of color friendly. Like even if you were worried about the lighter contour shade being a little too light for you, then you know it shows up really light on camera, and it does look really light in the pan, but I contoured my nose with it today, and it really shows up. So I mean, if you are maybe a little darker than me, then this shade may not work for you, but this shade will definitely work. So I have swatches of the shades on my hand. This is the darkest contour shade. As you can see, it's a really deep shade, and it is woman of color friendly. And this is the second contour shade. Now, it shows up really light, but I mean, it does show on the skin. You'll have to build on it a lot. I kind of feel like this would be a nice contour shade if you're going for a really natural look, like a no makeup day, but you still want to do a little contouring. I think this shade would be perfect for that. And this is the banana shade in the palette, which is the corrector. And it's just like, it's a really pretty banana shade, and I use it to set my under eye concealer and everywhere that I highlighted. And I feel like it's a really nice shade. It doesn't come off ashy. You know, it does really nice on the face. So I'm going to show you swatches of both of the highlighters and the blush. Alright guys, so this is the blush in the palette. I think that it's a really pretty neutral blush, and it will go with darker skin tones, it'll go with lighter skin tones. And again, it's just really nice for giving you that flush of color without being too overdone. I was worried about it not showing up on my skin complexion since it is so light in the palette. Here is the blush, but it actually shows up pretty nice. So yeah, I really like the color. It's kind of like a peachy, really light coral color, and it's really pretty. And it's really nice for just giving you a flush of color without being overdone. And next up are the highlighter shades. And this is the highlighter shade number 1, and it's more of a champagne shade, but it does look really nice on darker skin tones, and it doesn't look ashy. That is the shade, well, I'm wearing both of them. I put on the darkest highlighting shade, which I didn't think gave me enough glow, so I added this one on top. But like I said, with this contour shade, I kind of feel like this highlighting shade would be perfect for those no makeup days, or when you want to go for something really subtle and you want to go for a really natural, pretty glow from within highlight. Then this highlighter will definitely do that for you if you are my skin tone. Now, if you are wanting to take it up a notch, then I would definitely use this shade. I mean, it's not going to look ashy on the skin. It actually gives a nice glow. And like I said, the entire palette is super buttery. The entire palette blends really well, and the entire palette is very pigmented. So I really think that Tarte and MakeupShayla did a great job. Great job to MakeupShayla for these awesome colors, because, you know, even if you are a little darker than me, then this shade will definitely work for you. And of course, if you're lighter than me, this shade will work perfect for you. And if you are my skin tone, you can still get away with this shade. You just have to build on it a little bit, but this shade works really nicely also. So I really like the palette overall. It comes with a huge mirror, and I think that it is available in Sephora now. I'm really not sure. I think that it's going to be available in Sephora and Ulta on the 7th. Either way, I will have the links in the description box down below, as well as MakeupShayla's channel down below. And yeah, guys, I definitely think this is a limited edition palette, and it retails for $45. So if you are interested in purchasing this palette, or you just want to support Shayla, which the palette is an awesome palette. So if you get the palette, you know, I don't think that you will be, you know, I don't think that you'll be let down, because this is a really nice palette. So yeah, I think that it'll work for all skin tones. Both of the highlighters, she did a really good job on both of the highlighters. Both of the highlight colors look awesome on my skin, and I'm a darker skin tone. So, you know, if you are lighter than me, you could probably use this to bronze up your skin if you want to add a nice glow to the skin. But yeah, guys, this wraps up my review on the Tartiest Contour Palette with MakeupShayla. This palette gets 2 thumbs up from me. I really like this palette. If you've picked this palette up, let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, or if you plan on going to get this palette. And yeah, I will leave all information in the description box down below. That is my first impressions on this palette. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next video.